Good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Anderson, and welcome back to the another lesson with me. So this is the second part of the present perfect, and welcome back. So we're going to study the four functions of the present perfect tense, and among four functions, we're going to study two functions. One, just; two, never and never. So we usually use present perfect tense with an adverb. So like this, just, never, and ever. So if you learn present perfect tense with an adverb, you'll be able to use present perfect tense in a easier way. Okay, very good. Now before we hop into the um, main part, we're going to review what we learned on the first part. Um, so let's start with the past simple. So what did I say? Past simple. So it just passed. Nothing special, just passed. So let's have a look at the example here. I cooked yesterday. I cooked yesterday. So I cooked yesterday. Okay, that was it. So, but you don't know that you're going to order a pizza or you're going to eat the leftover. Maybe. Okay, so the point is the past. You don't know what's going to happen in the present. You don't know what's going to happen in the present. Maybe you'll order some delivery or the leftover. We don't know. Then what about the past present perfect here? Example, I have cooked. I have cooked. So do you remember the structure? Yes, the subject, have, and then past participle, pp. So okay, now present perfect is connected with the past. So there is a past completed event, but it's still true, but it's still relevant until the present. Now it's connected with the past. What about the present simple? Quite similar to the past simple. Present simple is just present. As you may guessed, it's just present. Have a look at the example. I cook. I cook. Okay? It's just now. Then what about the a bit furthermore? What about the you're cooking right now? That action is ongoing. Which tense should we use? We need to use present simple continuous. I am cooking like this. Okay, that was it. So let's specifically look at the past simple first. So past simple, it just stays in the past. It just passed. So you don't know what happens in the present. Maybe you order delivery food or you're gonna eat some leftover in the present. We don't know. So what about the what about the present perfect tense? Present perfect, I have cooked, means it's connected to the present and it's still true. I have cooked dinner. Like that. Okay, very good. So let's dive into the main part of this lesson. So we have four functions. One, incompletion or completion of recent events. Oh, teacher, what does completion or incompletion means? It means so incompletion is like not not finished. That was in completion. Completion was finished. And then life experience. 3. Continuing facts and events and results. So we're going to study continuing and facts, events, and result in the part 3. And today, in this lesson, we're going to study 2 functions, just, yet, and then never and never. Here's the sneak peek of the example. He has just eaten. I have never read this book. So, as you may guessed, and we put these adverbs in between the has verb and then eaten, the past participle. We put it behind, right? She has just eaten. I have never read this book. Like this. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at the recent past events. So when you explain the recent past event which finished right now, we used present perfect. Let's move on to the example. James' flight to London left 5 minutes ago. James' flight to London left 5 minutes ago. So 5 minutes ago, well, it's a present, right? It's a present. And it's a past. It happened in the past, 5 minutes ago, right? So, but 5 minutes ago, it's a very recent event. It's a very recent event. Okay, so when we mention about this recently finished event, we can use present perfect tense. Then how do we use it? We can say James' flight to London has left. Okay, no problem. But if you want to make this sentence much more accurately, we need to use just. Just, has just left. James' flight to London has just left. And is still true. So when we mention this recently finished event in the present, we can use the present, the perfect tense. Okay, now let's move on. So my dad did not finish cleaning his room. My dad did not finish cleaning his room. So it's a past, right? It's a past. It stays in the past. But if you use present perfect, my dad has not finished his room yet. It means it's still true. My dad is still cleaning his room. So, he started cleaning in the past and it's still unfinished. Okay? So, when you describe some events, when you describe some event which is not finished, which is unfinished, we use adverb yet. Oh, it's not an adverb. We use yet. Okay, my dad has not finished his room yet. My dad has not finished until now, and it's still true, his room yet. We use yet. Okay, now let's move on to the past and present perfect experience. So when you explain your past experience, or when you explain your past experience right now, so we use the present perfect tense. So we have two situations here. So when there's no experience, we use never. When we ask a question about the experience at any time, we use ever. Okay, so we use present perfect tense again when you explain your experience in your life, and it's your life has not finished yet and is still going, and it's not the past. So we use present perfect tense when we describe your experience. So experience, when you don't have an experience, we use never. I don't have any experience like that. So we use never in that context. What about the question? When we ask questions about the person's experience in their life, we use ever. Have you ever? Like this. So let's move on to the example. So as you can see, this is a past simple. It remains in the past, right? So she never ate an apple. She never ate an apple. So it stays in the past, so it's not relevant to the present, right? So we don't know if she eats an apple nowadays. So we don't know. Okay? Then, but when we use present perfect, when we use the present perfect tense, it's still ongoing. Plus, when the person has no experience about eating an apple, we use never. Okay, we use the adverb never. Okay, so in the past, no apple. And as well as the present, still no. She has never eaten an apple, and it's still true. What about the question form? So Michael wants to ask if Jane has ever had an apple. Right? So Michael wants to ask some question. Have you ever had an apple? Like this. So in her life, in the present, past present, and we should not use the past simple, right? Because her life has not finished yet. So we need to use the past, we need to use present perfect tense. So it's a question form, by the way, that we need to use ever, right? Like this. Have you ever had an apple in your life? Have you ever had an apple in your life? Have you ever had an apple in your life? When Jane says, yes, I have, then he has an experience about eating an apple. Yes, she has. Yes, I have. The what if Jane says, no, I have not? We can shorten it. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No, I have not. Which means she has never had an apple until now. And it's still true. Okay? So let's go back here. So we today we have studied the present perfect, but two situations, right? Completion of recent events, to a life experience. And the next part we're going to study continuing facts and events and results. And these are really, really easy. So I'll see you on the third part of the lesson. So thank you for coming, and I'll see you in the part 3. Thank you. Bye bye.